What's going on, guys? It's Phil here, and welcome to my AEW All In 2024 review. Today, we're going to be talking about All In 2024, as I'll be giving you guys my full thoughts on everything that happened on the show. And trust me, we have a ton to talk about. But before we do get right into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, turn on the bell for all notifications as you subscribe to the channel. That way, you never miss an upload right here on the YouTube channel. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, so let's keep it going. All right, now without further ado, let's get right into All In 2024 from London, England. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on the pre-show, but the biggest thing that came out of the AEW All In 0 hour for the pre-show was that Jamie Hayter returned. Jamie Hayter is back into the fold in AEW, and I could not be more happy to see her within AEW once again. It's been a long time since we've seen Jamie Hayter. It's been about 15, 16 months. But now that she is back within the fold of AEW, I cannot wait to see what they have in store for her. And I know she'll be definitely back in that AEW Women's World Championship title picture within at least the next year. Now, Jamie Hayter returned to All in a segment where it was all about Saraya. Saraya was not booked on the card, but she said that the show was not going to continue until she got some action. And, well, let's just say she got some action. Jamie Hayter came out, basically attacked her and the rest of the entire Night family. And yeah, it was just to a huge ovation. Everybody loved it. Everybody loves that Jamie Hayter is back, and we cannot wait to see what Jamie Hayter does within the near future now that she is back into the fold of AEW. So welcome back, Jamie Hayter. But other than that, the matches were just okay. You had a 16-man tag team match. Then you had the mixed tag team match with Tomohiro Ishii and Willow Nightingale taking on Kris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway, which Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro won. So Willow gets to choose a stipulation for her match against Kris at All Out in 2 weeks. And then you had a 10-man tag team match up there. So at the end of the day, the only match that really mattered was that, mixed tag team match. But at the end of the day, like I said, the big return of Jamie Hayter was obviously the big thing coming out of the 0 hour for AEW All In. But now we can get right into the main card as we started off with the London ladder match for the AEW World Trios Championships, as Pac teamed up with Blackpool Combat Club members Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. We had obviously the Patriarchy defending their titles, and then we also had the House of Black as well as the Bang Bang Gang, all within this ladder match. 12 men, climb a ladder, get the titles, you know how it all works. This match was fun. It was, a ladder match. So obviously there were some great high spots within it. You saw some ladders, you saw some tables, you saw some chairs. But let's face it, everybody has seen ladder matches, and it's very hard to make new moments within ladder matches. But I had to say, the match was really well done. It was really well paced, and ultimately we got new champions out of it. Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta with Pac got the AEW World Trios Championships, and now they are the new Trios Champions. Pac got his Wembley moment in the end. Pac was apparently supposed to get the International Championship opportunity here in London, but obviously because of the whole MJF and Will Ospreay story, they decided to go a different route and have Pac team up with the BCC, and now they are the new World Trios Champions. So Pac got his Wembley moment. We got a great match out of it. All is said and done, and it was a great way to kick off AEW All In. So ultimately, I'm going to give it maybe a 3.75 out of 5 stars. I thought this was a really good way to kick off the show, and the crowd was hot for it. The next match that happened on the card was most likely and probably one of the most anticipated matches of the entire night. It was Mariah challenging Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. And like I said, this easily could have been the co-main event of the entire show. I would have rather seen us wait it out to see what could honestly happen between the two, but they got the second matchup on the card. And though they had the second matchup on the card, they absolutely killed it. The story of the matchup was fantastic. Mariah and Toni Storm have great in-ring chemistry. And not only that, we saw a new AEW Women's World Champion be crowned and the equity that was put into Mariah May was capitalized on. So now we have Mariah May as the new AEW Women's World Champion, and I could not be more proud of AEW and Tony Khan for capitalizing on the equity that they put on Mariah May. Toni Storm is going to be perfectly fine in this loss. Toni Storm is most likely going to be taking a quick break because she honestly has been carrying that women's division on her back for the better part of her entire championship run, and she deserves that break. So let's see what Mariah May can do with it. I'm glad they gave her the ball. Now let's see how she can run with it, and maybe, just maybe, have a really good title reign within her for the AEW Women's World Championship. I could not be more happy with how that booking decision went. Congratulations to Mariah May on becoming the new AEW Women's World Champion. This matchup here, I'm giving it a 4-star. I'm giving it a 4-star out of 5, mainly because of the fact of the story going in, and ultimately, at the end of the day, it was just the right decision to crown Mariah May as the new AEW Women's World Champion. Up next, we had the last chance match for the FTW Championship. It was under FTW rules. Chris Jericho was defending against the handsome one, Hook. And guys, this was good for what it was. I mean, let's face it. The FTW Championship, in the grand scheme of things, does not mean much for AEW. But with what Chris Jericho has brought to the fold with the whole learning tree and this storyline with Hook, you had something here. And let's just face it. Anytime somebody fuses with Chris Jericho, the aftermath is usually not always the best. So now that we have a new champion in Hook won the FTW Championship back from Chris Jericho, we need to see Hook be capitalized on more. And honestly, like I said in my, predictions video, if I were Tony Khan and if I were AEW, I would just get rid of the FTW Championship and allow Hook to be himself in whatever other storyline you want to book for him. Because he has so much more potential than the FTW Championship that you're not even going to be able to tap into until he is gone from the company and joins somewhere else. So take the FTW Championship away, give, some more equity into Hook and see where he can go from here, because that kid can thrive within AEW. They just need to put more, stuff behind him in order to make him succeed. So good on Hook. He won the FTW Championship back. We saw a huge moment where Taz got up from the commentator's booth, put on the Taz mission as Hook put on the Red Rum submission and made Jericho tap out along with Brian Keith, who was tapping out to the Taz mission. So it was a great moment there. They had a great embrace between father and son as Hook won the championship back. But we need to see more from Hook, and we need to see better things for Hook down the line. But congratulations to Hook for winning that FTW Championship back for the family. Oh, and by the way, I give the whole Jericho and Hook stuff 3 out of 5 stars. Then we had the 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships as Young Bucks defended against FTR and the Acclaim. And let's just say, at the end of the day, even though I think that the Elite storyline has kind of fallen off a cliff, ultimately, if you're going to continue that storyline, you have to have them retain the titles, and that's exactly what they did. It was a great tag team match for what it was. When you have these 3 teams in there, you know it's going to be good, especially with FTR and the Young Bucks. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, if you're going to keep this whole Elite storyline going, the Elite were just going to have to retain the tag team titles, and that's exactly what they did. It wasn't anything too special, but it was a great tag team match for what it was and how much time it got on the card. So just really cool stuff here. I'd probably give it about a 3.25 out of 5 stars. At the end of the day, it wasn't, the best out of the Young Bucks and FTR, but it was a solid thing for what they had, and the Acclaimed had some moments in there. So there you go. But the Young Bucks retained. It was a good decision. It was the right call, and we'll see where things go from there with the Elite storyline. So there you go. Young Bucks retained. Up next, we had one of my favorite matches of the entire night, which was a Casino Gauntlet match for a future shot at the AEW World Championship. This matchup, like I said, was one of my favorites of the entire night, mainly because of how good the action was. And we had 12 men within this gauntlet match. Out of the 20 plus people that really could have been a part of it, show face. And like I said, this was just really, really fun. This was easily the best casino gauntlet match that AEW has produced. And I just really love that this matchup here is a staple within AEW. And honestly, I would personally love to see a casino gauntlet happen at All In every single year. I think that would be a great way to just have a ton of people featured on the show. It shows a lot of surprises. And at the end of the day, it was just a really, really fun match to have for the future shot at the AEW World Championship. But I got the participants right here on my phone, so I'll be reading them out to you. And obviously, I'll be showing you guys the winner and obviously the match rating that I'll be giving it. So, what we had here was Orange Cassidy start off the thing with Kazuchika Okada, who is the Continental Champion within AEW. So, while the Continental title was not defended at All In, the Continental Champion was able to get a matchup at All In, and he was in the Casino Gauntlet match. So that was really cool to see. Then, number 3 was Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness made his in-ring return at AEW All In. Completely shocked. I mean, I heard that he could have possibly been, cleared to wrestle, but I didn't think that was going to happen. That was just absolutely insane, and I love that Nigel McGuinness is back. Excuse me. Apologies. Then we had Kyle O'Reilly at number 4. Then we had Zack Sabre Jr. at number 5. He was the winner of the G1, so there you go. Congratulations to him on that. Then we had Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, Hangman Adam Page, who was my ultimate winner, who I thought was going to win the Casino Gauntlet match, and boy was I wrong. Then we had Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett got a huge pop. Insane. Then we had Ricochet. Ricochet showed face. Ricochet was in the Casino Gauntlet match. I feel like everybody kind of knew that that's where he was going to show up, but his music is fantastic, so shout out to Mikey Ruckus. His, Titantron looks sick, and he did very, very well in the matchup. I could not be more happy that Ricochet is in AEW. Good on him for taking a chance on himself, betting on himself, and going to a new company within AEW. Congratulations, Ricochet, on that. And then we had Christian Cage. So Christian Cage, who lost his Trios Championships earlier on in the night, competed in the Gauntlet match for a future shot at the World title. So there you go. And then you had Killswitch, who came out as Luchasaurus. Justin Roberts said Luchasaurus. And it all looked like that Killswitch, Luchasaurus, was going to turn on Christian Cage. But he didn't. He helped Christian Cage win the whole thing. Christian Cage is now a new number 1 contender, essentially, for the AEW World Championship. The match was fantastic, but the winner is a little bit questionable. I'm sorry. Look, I would have had him get Adam Page win this. He easily had the most history between both Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland. I understand, Christian Cage, he did have prior history with Swerve Strickland, and I get that, but out of everything that happened with Bryan Danielson and Christian within AEW, I don't feel like they ever really crossed paths, and if they did, let me know down in the comments, but I don't think it ever happened. So, this was a great match. Don't get me wrong. I'm giving this a 4.25 out of 5 stars, truthfully. But the winner and Christian Cage left a lot to be desired, and people were not really all that happy on social media. But then again, what do you think? It's Twitter, and Twitter's not a real place. But overall, really good matchup here, and I cannot wait to see more Casino Gauntlet matches in the future of AEW. And at this point in the night, guys, I thought the night flew by. We only have 4 matches left to go on the card at that current point, and I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my god, wait a minute, can this show actually go maybe only a little over 3 hours? Because they're going to get 3 hours out of the show, but AEW shows usually run like 4, maybe 4.5 hours. But yeah, the show started out 1, and it looked like it was a really well-paced show, but honestly, it just felt like we were going by really quickly. And as we only had 4 more matches on the card, I was like, man, we can actually get maybe 3.5 hours out of the show. And it was just a really, really cool time. And trust me, the next matchup that we had, it took a lot of time. So, like I say, they were going to get their 4 hours out of there one way or another. But the next matchup was for the AEW American Championship / International Championship. MJF defended against Will Ospreay, and it was a great match. Oh my god, was this fantastic. And we knew it was going to be, because at the end of the day, we saw the, hour-long matchup that they had at Dynamite 250, and you knew they were going to try to exceed that. The match was fantastic. The entrances were great because, MJF obviously doing this whole American shtick. He was just obnoxious with it, and he looked incredible. And then you had Will Ospreay's Assassin's Creed entrance, and it was awesome to see that. Plus, we saw an aerial view of the entire stadium with the pyro and everything, which was just really cool. I'm not going to be able to do the match justice, but I will say this. The spot where we saw the Tiger Driver 91 got a huge pop from the crowd. And obviously, we knew that that spot was going to happen. The Tiger Driver 91, he was going to pull it out, and he being MJF, sold the absolute shit out of it. But the fact of the matter was, this matchup was absolutely fantastic, and I'm glad that Will Ospreay got to have his moment in Wembley Stadium and bring back the International Championship to AEW. Now, the next matchup on the card was the TBS Championship matchup, as Mercedes Moné defended her title against Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. And I'm just going to flat out say it. I don't think that the match was as bad as everybody made it seem all over social media. They got almost 18 minutes of action. They really did a good job of pacing when it came down to the matchup, but in the end, I do understand everybody's gripe when it came down to how the match felt in terms of where it landed on the card. First of all, it was going to be after the International Championship matchup between Will Ospreay and MJF, and any match that was going to be going after that match was going to be a really tough spot for them. Not only that, but Britt Baker was suspended for most of the build of this feud. So when you only have Mercedes Moné carrying the load of being on the microphone and really trying to set the tone for the feud, it really does not look all that great. So I understand where people are coming from in terms of that, but the matchup really was not all that bad. I'm going to give the matchup a 3 out of 5 stars, only because of the fact that I know that these women can do 100% better. We know how good Mercedes Moné is. We know, whether you like Britt Baker or not, how good she is in terms of, her being a day oneer in AEW, and really just her getting better each and every time she steps out there. There was a great spot with the whole Eddie Guerrero, tribute with Britt Baker and Camille. I thought that was really cool, but in the end, Mercedes Moné, she retained her title, which is 100% the right call, and I guess we'll see if the feud continues. I don't think, and I don't want this to be a one-and-done type deal. I want more to be told between these two women, and hopefully they get a chance to do that. So, there you go. The co-main event of AEW All In was the coffin match for the TNT Championship between Darby Allin, who was the challenger, going in to take on the champion, Jack Perry. And I'm going to flat out say it. The thing is about this matchup, it's my least favorite match of the entire night, but it's not their fault. They just really did not get enough time for this matchup here. I feel like they really only got maybe 11, 12 minutes max to really figure out how they were going to lay out this matchup here. And it really wasn't what happened during the match. It's what happened after the match that really mattered. We saw some great spots. We saw Darby Allin dive headfirst into the coffin. We saw Darby Allin get thrown off the stage through tables by Jack Perry. But in the end, I just feel like they really did not get enough time to really tell a good story within the matchup here. But I will say this. After the match, Sting returned, and Sting was already rumored to be in London for, just whatever reason. And it really did feel like it was going to be a great moment to have Sting return in London in AEW at AEW All In to help Darby Allin in a way because of how good their relationship is. And while Darby Allin did not win the TNT Championship that night, he got saved by Sting because Jack Perry was going to light the man on fire inside the coffin after his retention of the TNT title. So the fact that Sting saved Darby from, you know, from a pretty terrible situation if it were to actually ever happen, it's great for him. I'm glad that he's back in AEW. I don't know if this is just a one-off thing, but if it is, good on you, Sting. We'll see you down the road. But if not, it's great to have Sting back in AEW. What did you guys think about Sting's return? Let me know down below. And I'm going to give the matchup a 3.25 out of 5 stars. I just wish they got a little bit more time. And finally, we had the final countdown, the main event, career versus title, title versus career. It was Bryan Danielson putting his career on the line against Swerve Strickland, who was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, who put his title on the line. Thus, title versus career. But I have to say that AEW did this matchup to perfection. What I mean by that is they really made you feel like this match was going to be special going in. Not just because of the title stipulation, not just because of Bryan Danielson's career being on the line, but everything in terms of the entrances, the production, the in-ring announcements by Justin Roberts, the fact that Bree, Buddy, and Birdie were all out there to support their guy and Bryan Danielson was just an amazing thing to see. Swerve Strickland is an amazing AEW World Champion, and I am so glad that AEW really did allow him to be the guy within AEW and be the first African American AEW World Champion. But I'll say it right now, Bryan Danielson winning the AEW World Championship to me was 100% the right call. The fact of the matter is there's more to be done with Bryan Danielson and AEW. And though it would have been a really cool moment to see Bryan retire in front of 50,000 plus people, I just think there's more to be done. And I really do hope that we will see more of Bryan Danielson when it comes down to this AEW World Championship run. I'm so excited about, getting a chance to witness and watch this match over and over again whenever I get a chance to, because this matchup was just truly special. If you guys did not go out and see it, go out and watch it, because you guys will understand what I mean by the word special when you watch this match back. It was an amazing main event. I loved the way that everything happened. The celebration was amazing. And Bryan Danielson, good on you, man. You finally won the AEW World Championship in your AEW run. So, good on Swerve, good on Bryan. Absolutely amazing main event, and absolutely an amazing way to cap off what was an amazing, a great, a spectacular AEW All In from London in 2024. And if you guys couldn't tell, I'm giving the main event a 5-star out of 5-star. The thing is about AEW All In was that I loved everything from top to bottom. And no, there could have been things that I personally would have done a bit better. The card was absolutely fantastic in every way, shape, and form. And in my honest opinion, it blew AEW All In 2023 out of the water, considering one word going into almost every single matchup on the card, and that was story. They really did focus on storytelling in this card and on the road to AEW All In. I loved AEW All In 2024. I cannot wait to see what their next installment of All In entails. I believe, no, that one's going to be the one in Texas. So we'll see where that lies. And just All In 2024, an amazing show. You guys got to go check back and watch it if you guys did not get a chance to watch it live. Thank you guys so much for joining me right here on my AEW All In 2024 review. If you guys liked it, make sure to hit that like button, turn on the bell for all notifications as you subscribe to the channel. That way you guys never miss an upload for the channel. And guys, you'll be seeing my WWE Bash in Berlin predictions tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day, and